Good morning, DKs. I hope you are all safe and staying at home. We miss you so much and can't wait to see you. Let's see if you still remember our song. Who are we? We are dynamite kids. Who are we? We are dynamite kids. Who are we wired up for? Jesus. Who are we wired up for? Jesus. How do we explode? Psst. Boom! Yay, dynamite kids, that was excellent. Okay, let's start with our story for today. Do you know of any strong person? Superman? Okay, Batman? Oh, yes, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is also a strong person. Yes, today's lesson we are going to learn about a strong man called Samson. There is a country called Israel, and people from Israel are called Israelites. And the Israelites people were very unhappy because there were people called the Philistines who were very mean to them. The Israelites prayed to God to help them. An angel appeared to an Israelite husband and wife and told them, "You will have a son who will fight for Israel against the Philistines. You must raise him to worship God according to the strict rules that the Israelites people follow. And one of these rules is that you must not cut his hair." The husband and the wife were very happy when they indeed had a baby boy. They called the little boy Samson. Samson did not stay little for long. No. He grew up and God made sure he was tall and strong. He was so strong that once when he was attacked by a lion, he grabbed him and he wrestled him and he killed him with his bare hands. Then one day Samson told his parents that he was going to marry a Philistine girl, and they were very disappointed, but he insisted on marrying her. At the wedding, Samson gave the guest from his bride's side a very difficult riddle. They tried for 3 days to solve it, but they could not get the answer. So they begged the bride and said, "Please ask Samson to give you the answer to the riddle." And she convinced Samson to tell her the answer. Samson realized what his bride had done, and in anger he killed 30 Philistines and stomped back home. By the time he calmed down and went back for his wife, she had married someone else. Samson was so angry that he burned the Philistines' farming fields. When they found out, they burned his bride's house. Samson was now a very angry man and killed more Philistines by himself before returning home. From then on, Samson was the Philistines' sworn enemy. They demanded that some Israelites from the tribe of Judah hand him over or face the consequences. The men explained the situation to Samson, and he agreed that they tie him up and take him to the enemy. But once surrounded, he freed himself from the ropes and attacked the Philistines. Grabbing a nearby bone to use as a weapon, he killed them all before escaping. Eventually, Samson became the leader of Israel. He ruled for 20 years, but the Philistines never gave up trying to capture him. Once they waited until Samson was in the city of Gaza. They knew he would leave the next morning and planned to attack him by surprise at the city gates. So they locked the gates. But when they went there, At dawn, they found that Samson had outsmarted them. Weqa ebusuku waqula amasango ayekhiwe wabaleka nawo. Then Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah. So the Philistines saw this as yet another chance to get their revenge at Samson. They promised to pay Delilah 5,500 pieces of silver if she handed him over to them. So each time Samson visited Delilah, she would ask Samson, "Tell me your secret. Why are you so strong?" Eventually, Samson gave in. "My parents promised God that I will never cut my hair," he explained. "If I cut my hair, I would lose God's protection and my strength will be gone." Delilah's eyes lit up. At last she knew. Next time Samson came to visit, she gave him wine and he fell asleep. She cut off his hair and called the Philistines. They tied him up in chains and took his eyes and set him to work as a slave. A year passed, and the day came when the Philistines held a great festival in honor of their god, Dagon. The temple was so full that there were 3,000 people on the roof. There were prayers, songs, dances, poems, and plays. Everyone was enjoying themselves very much. The people began shouting for Samson to be brought in so they can make fun of him. And the blind Samson was led to the center of the temple. People were insulting him. Bemhleka, bemthuka, bethi awubheke nje lesi sigore singuSamson, sesinjani manje. Kodwa basebekhohliwe ukuthi sezikhulile izinwele zakhe futhi. USamson asked a young boy to take him to the pillars of the building, and he prayed, "Oh God, give me back my strength just one last time." Samson stretched out his hand to his right and left, and God helped him to find strength, and with one mighty roar, he pushed the pillars and the temple fell to the ground, and he died, and he died with thousands of Philistines. Amen, Dynamite Kids. So we are going to pray that God gives us the strength in our lives. Let's close our eyes and pray. Dear God, we thank you that you are protecting us, and we thank you that you are giving us strength to stay strong and not to be afraid. Amen. Amen, Dynamite Kids. Remember to behave yourselves and to do your schoolwork. Miss you, Lord. Mwah, mwah.
Who are we? We are How we take it easy. How we take it easy. Who do we love? God.